الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اجعلنا منهم ومن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر آمين يا رب العالمين. ثم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ولو أنا كتبنا عليهم أن اقتلوا أنفسكم أو يخرجوا من دياركم ما فعلوه إلا قليل منهم ولو أنهم فعلوا ما يوعظون به لكان خيرا لهم وأشد تثبيتا. Inshallah ta'ala, in the few moments we have together, I was given a topic, the title of which is The Strangers, obviously referred to from a famous hadith of our beloved Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last part of which فَطُوبَى لِلْغُرَبَاء, then good news and congratulations be to the strangers. And this is particularly, I thought it was a great topic for youth and a great hadith to choose to discuss with the youth, because we're living in times where it's no shock and you don't need a speaker to tell you that Muslims are looked upon as weird. Everything we do is strange. The way we dress sticks out in the mall. The way we stand in line at the airport, the camera somehow zooms in on our faces. The way we travel at the toll booth and we make the person nervous when they're handing us their change. Everything about us is weird. So much so that if in an election campaign somebody might be Muslim, it can send shockwaves. Not that they are, but the idea of it is too strange, too alien. But this you already know. Why should I give you a speech about something you already know? It's something else I want to share with you, and I want to start with something, especially at the level of the youth. There are some things that are, some of our youth, Allah Azza wa Jal blesses them with a certain experience. Many of you, you don't have to tell your neighbor or me, this is between you and Allah, many of you are party animals. You did very bad things that your parents had no idea you did. And you were in company that your parents had no idea of its true nature. And you spent a lot of your young energies in directions that can only be attributed to the waswasa of shaitan. And for some divine reason, for some inexplicable mercy from Allah Azza wa Jal, because of it, Allah put something in your heart to want to learn something about Islam. Maybe Allah did that for you when you were attending a conference like this one. Or He did that for you because of the influence of an older brother, or just one khutbah out of nowhere sort of hit you. And you decided that you want to learn more about your religion, and you started changing. And many of you, as I'm talking, you can think of the times in your own life that you would rather not share in public, that you know about and nobody else knows about. And at that time, everybody around you thought you were normal. The things you did were normal. You used to go out to the movies with your friends, and that was normal. You used to go play among your friends, that was normal. Some of you guys used to go on the basketball court and use filthy language, and that was normal. That was just part of every day. But then you started changing. And for you, you personally thought this change is for the better. Things are getting better. You're becoming a better Muslim. You're coming closer to recognizing your purpose for why you're alive, why you exist. But as you started finding your purpose, everybody around you started thinking that you're weird. You're changing. So your friends, they don't look at you the same way anymore. And they don't really call you when they go hang out because you're acting funny. And you've started to look funny while all of you, for you brothers, all of your friends are really obsessed with over 45 minutes standing behind a mirror fixing that pencil thing. You're growing your beard, and it's completely not in line with the fashion sense required of the times. So you don't fit in. So you start losing some of your friends. And then, after, on top of everything else, your parents say to you, you're becoming a little too Muslim. I mean, we're all Muslim, but you're becoming Muslim. And that's a problem. For the sisters, all of your friends are obsessed with the way their hair looks and their makeup and everything else, and you've changed, you put your hijab on, and all of a sudden your friends don't really associate with you, they find it intimidating. They'd rather not go. I know, some people from my own family, distant cousins and stuff, they wouldn't go to a gathering where they know there are going to be women in hijab because they find them scary. They're too weird. I don't want to go to those hijabi people's parties. People aren't normal. Okay? So now you've become strange not only to non-Muslims, but what I want to share with you is perhaps many of you feel that you have become a stranger in your own family. Your own parents think you've gone crazy. Your own older sister, your own husband, your own wife, your own kids, your own extended family, your cousins, they've turned you into the object of ridicule. So come any Eid gathering, guess who they're going to be mocking? It's going to be you. And all for what? Because you show some signs of Islam. Maybe it's in your appearance. Maybe it's a beard for the brothers, or a little bit more modest dressing. You're not wearing that 50-cent t-shirt anymore, right? Or your pants aren't dragging 2 feet behind you when you walk. Maybe that's changed, right? And we don't know the brand of your garments because the labels aren't sticking out. Maybe we don't know that anymore. You've humbled your dress. Maybe for the sisters, you've started to wear a jilbab. You've started to cover yourself appropriately. And that's become the reason you're weird. Sometimes it's in our appearance. Sometimes it's in our behavior. You refuse to go to this gathering where there's going to be stuff. And you all know what stuff that is. And your entire family wants to go. And they're saying, why aren't you going? It's your uncle. It's your cousin's wedding. Does Islam teach you to break family ties? Is what your Islam teaches you, to disobey your parents? And you sit there and you listen and you say, yeah, well, I guess I should go party because Islam says I should listen to my parents this time. And you go. But now you've become the object of, everybody ascribes strangeness to you within your own circle, within your own family. Maybe even in your own workplace. Especially, it's okay for a stranger to see you as strange. Maybe you're used to that already. Maybe before 9/11, it wasn't about you being Muslim, it was you being colored in any way. If you're a little bit less than a shade of off-white, then people look at you funny anyway. So maybe it's a new weird. It's not the old weird anymore. So maybe you're used to that. But now there's a new thing added on. Your own family, your own loved ones. Everybody thinks you're strange. You're being alienated entirely. And I wanted to discuss really, if some of you feel that you can relate to what I'm saying, I wanted to discuss at the heart of this problem, the heart of this weirdness that everybody sees around Muslims. What is the root of it? Our beautiful religion, this way of life that Allah has granted us, is called Al-Islam. And one of its meanings is complete submission. And you all know that already. Probably you learned that in Sunday school or earlier. That Islam means complete and absolute submission to the will of Allah. But when you read, when you were a kid or you were in Sunday school, you heard in a khutbah the stories of the prophets, you heard them. You said, yeah, I know that story. Or you learned those stories and you appreciated them. But when you put them in a modern context, when you go back and reflect on those stories, then you'll find something else. Not too long ago, I was listening to NPR. It's about a year ago, and there was a comedian on NPR. And she was actually talking about the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Fairly accurately, except for the Ismail and Ishaq part that they confused, the Christians. Fairly accurate depiction. And you know what she was saying? What kind of God is this? It makes you kill your own kid. If anybody you all know that Ibrahim alayhi salam was given revelation to attempt to slaughter his own son. You know this already, right? Now, she says, well, nowadays, if somebody says, God told me to kill my kid, what would you do with them? And you answer that for me. What would you do with them if somebody said, God told me to kill my kid? They'd end up in the psych ward, or worse, right? Child services, 911, something. This person is not normal. This person is insane. But why do we then have so much admiration for this man? Abraham to them, Ibrahim alayhi salam. Right? And when she put it in that way, it makes you think. Not just our behavior nowadays, not just our salah at the airport or at the mall, not just the way we look and the way we dress, not just the fact that we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, or somebody overhears you say Alhamdulillah and they turn, oh my God, I think I heard that in a movie before an explosion happened, Not that, not any of that. This goes way back. The messengers alayhimus salatu wassalam displayed submission before Allah, and the world at large looked at that as strange. That was strange. And what the world sees as crazy, we define as the greatest gift that Allah has given us, the willingness, willingly coming before Allah and giving ourselves in complete submission to Him. So our heroes